Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Miss Hope's Reading Hour, friends and family. It is the fabulous FRI-YAY edition of Miss Hope's Reading Hour. And guess what? Here in the city of Philadelphia, for all of my kindergarten to 12th grade students, really kindergarten to maybe like 8th grade students. Sometimes high school gets out a little early. Today, officially in the city of Philadelphia, it is the last day of school for students. It's the last day of school. So today they had a move-up day. First time we've ever had a move-up day at the school, like physically at the school. Hopefully some of the time, it was able to be outside, because originally it was going to be outside. But if it rained too much, because it was a little rainy here, a little cooler here, you see I got on some long sleeves. I went outside, I was like, oh, it's a little cool out here. Okay. But today was move-up day for the kindergarten to 8th grade students at Martha Washington School, and they probably had move-up days at a lot of different schools, and there's graduations going on and all that other stuff. And really, if you're a kid, the last day of school is the unofficial start of summertime. People say that Memorial Day is the unofficial start of summer. No. You're a kid. The unofficial start of summer is the last day of school, okay? So, it's the last day of school. There's a whole bunch of stuff you're going to get to do. And of course, you still have to be careful because we are still dealing with COVID-19. So where you have to wear a mask, wear it and obey the rules. And where you don't, still make sure you're washing your hands. You're not putting your hands in your mouth. You're not touching a whole bunch of stuff and then rubbing your eyes and stuff like that. Make sure you still got your hand sanitizer. And maybe take your own little travel thing of soap so that you're wiping and washing your hands. And we just want everybody to be safe and have a great, safe summer, even when you go to summer camp. So all of my teenage workers who are going to be working at summer camps this year and group leaders and things like that, make sure you're still washing those hands, okay? Saying the ABCs or singing happy birthday, okay? Because we want everybody to be safe, all right? Well, so today was the last day. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see the 8th graders graduate. I saw some pictures and I was so happy. Just to let you know, one of the guest readers, Celeste, who was one of the 8th graders from Miss Ionelli's class, who read for the 24-hour readathon, she was the valedictorian of the 8th grade class. I am so proud of you, Celeste. Thank you so much for being guest reader. And that just speaks to why you deserved to be the valedictorian, to do something so selfless. As soon as she heard that I needed it, she was like, oh yeah, I'll read a book. So thank you so much, and congratulations to all of the graduates up until, so some of them had to be canceled because they were worried about inclement weather. So there'll be some that will be graduating next week. Congratulations to you all. To all of you older young ones like me, parents, teachers who are going to school and you're getting your degrees from college too, congratulations on your graduations as well. So, looking forward to summer. I'm going to have to get some summer books, okay? Some ones about Juneteenth, which is coming up soon, and the 4th of July and other holidays and just summer fun. Whew, how's Miss Hope going to get those books? I tell you how. Miss Hope will be able to get those books for the Miss Hope's Reading Hour Library with your help. How can you help? You can donate, okay? So you can donate via Cash App. It doesn't matter how much you want to donate. All donations will be used for buying books for the Miss Hope's Reading Hour Library, okay? That's what it'll be used for. Also, you can not only do it through Cash App, you can donate via digital gift cards. Look right there. Oh, it's passing by right now. The email address to Miss Hope's Reading Hour. You can send digital gift cards to the email address. And guess what that gift card is going to be used for? It's going to be used to buy books. So you can send a gift card from your favorite book retailer, from Amazon, a Visa, MasterCard, anyone that I can use to buy some books, okay? Also, if you want to send me some books yourself, you're like, you know what? I may not want to give a donation, but I might have some books. Greatly appreciated. Also, if you want to do that, use that email address and let me know, okay? Now, my friends, since we are coming up on the summer season where you are going to get to sleep a little late, that's only if you're not going to camp, okay? So you get to sleep late, you get to wake up and play with your toys and things like that. You're going to be looking for those toys. Maybe you were playing with some toys throughout the school year, but maybe there's a special summer toy that you like to play with. What if you can't find it? So we have a book that talks about what it's like when you can't find your toy. I know one thing. So, little secret. Miss Hope loses stuff. So I have to make sure to keep things in one place. Because if I don't, I will have to tear up a room or I will lose it. So we have a book about what it's like when you can't find your toy. This book is called Where's My T-U-R-C-K? My truck. Okay? This book is by Karen Beaumont. Pictures by David Catro. Where's my T-U-R-C-K? It's a little annoying when you lose some stuff, right? Let's see how this little guy handles not being able to find his truck. And you're going to be outside playing a lot of games. You might be playing in the pool. You might be playing baseball or softball. But one of the big things when it starts getting warm, if you look all around whatever city you live in, if there's a basketball court, people are on it. Now, one thing Miss Hope likes, Miss Hope loves basketball. I love basketball, okay? Basketball and football, those are two favorites. Love those. So, we have a book for you b-ball lovers. This book is called Jump, from the life of one of the greats, my favorite basketball player, Michael Jordan. Okay? Jump, from the life of Michael Jordan. This book is by Floyd Cooper. I'm going to be reading this book. And of course, you know, we got to read. Now, I know it's the end of the school year. All right? But we got to get back into these Unteachables and find out about their lives. Why are they called the Unteachables? Why are they in this class? Why is Mr. Kermit the way that he is? Why is he the way that he is when Mrs. Fountain comes around? Will Miss Fountain tell her mom that she's teaching in a class next to Mr. Kermit? It's a lot of things to find out, okay? But we'll get to that when we get to it. Now, let us look at our first book, friends. Where is my T-U-R-C-K? Where is my truck? Oh, has a dust jacket, and guess what? It looks the same underneath. Yes. All right. So, this book is by Karen Beaumont. Find out who the publisher of this book is. And this is a Dial for Young Readers book, an imprint of Penguin Group USA Incorporated. Shh. I hear my parents say, Tommy's not himself today. He lost his T-U-R-C-K. Whew. He looks like he is not happy, okay? His favorite toy, he would lose it. My brother says, let's climb a tree. My sister says, play house with me. But all I want to do is find my T-U-R-C-K. That's all I want to do. I want to find my truck. I look behind my closet door. I dig through every dresser drawer. I search my brother's pile of junk. I look in Grandma's smelly trunk. Oh, he's desperate. To look in the smelly trunk, he's desperate. And underneath the bed and chair, behind the curtain, oops, not there. I cannot find it anywhere. My brother tosses me a ball. My sister hands me a dumb doll. My mom says it will be okay. My dad just shrugs and walks away. I want my T-U-R-C-K. Everybody's trying to cheer him up, and he's like, nothing's going to change. I go outside. Where could it be? Is it underneath the tree? In the sandbox by the shed? Maybe in the flower bed. Be careful of that shed. There's a whole lot of big stuff in there. I climb up on the ladder. Hey, is that my T-U-R-C-K? Uh-oh. Whoa. Oh man, how's he gonna get down? That can't be good. I look again, but still no luck. Did someone steal my favorite truck? I had my red truck yesterday. A toy truck can't just drive away. Oh man. I want my T-U-R-C-K. My brother hands me his green Jeep. My dad says, I just need more sleep. My sister says, come on, let's play. My mom whispers, what a day. I want my T-U-R-C-K. Oof. He's pretty frustrated. I don't want jeeps or cars or planes or boats or bikes or trikes or trains. I don't want green or blue or black. I only want my red truck back. My T-U-R-C-K is gone. I love that truck. I love it still. I always, always, always will. Poor guy. That truck hauled toys and tools and rocks, banana peels and dirty socks, great big bones for Bowser. Wait, what's he doing by the gate? Bowser's dug a giant hole. Something's buried by his bowl. Something kind of red. Oh boy. Let's see what it is. Hooray! I found my truck! Bowser had buried it. Wow. And he buried a lot of other stuff too. Come on, Bowser. Let's go play. The end. Wow, that was actually a pretty big truck. If he can sit on top of it and then Bowser can pull him, that's a pretty big truck. Bowser had to dig a pretty big hole. And remember, there was a whole lot of stuff in there. But you know the part I really like about this book? I like that his brother and his sister didn't just treat him like he was being annoying. They really were trying to help him. That was kind of cool. Usually, and not that it's bad, because it happens in families with brothers and sisters, a younger one or even an older one or the middle one, somebody gets frustrated about not being able to find something. They have a little bit of an attitude, and you're just like, you're annoying. Leave me alone. I don't want to help you. Find it yourself. The one thing I really liked is that the brother and sister were really trying to be helpful to him so he could find his TRCK today. Well, he found it. So, if you cannot find your favorite summer toy, don't worry about it. Ask your brother or your sister for help, and maybe they can help you find it. And if you have a dog, you might want to check and see if it buried it somewhere. I like that book. I like that. All right. Now, for our next book, Jump from the Life of Michael Jordan. I can't wait to read this one. Now, the one about the truck, I did read. This one I did not get to read. So I would really like to find out more information about Michael Jordan's life through this book by Floyd Cooper. Let's see who the publisher of this book is. Let's see. This is a Philomel Books book. It has kind of like a little poem at the beginning of the book. Swooshing bodies start to bang. Slamming sneakers start to skid. The ball starts and never stops, moving smooth and sweet from man to man to Mike. Oh, wow. His name was Michael, and from the time he was a little boy, he always seemed to be in and out of mischief. His parents did their best to keep all of the Jordan kids busy at their home in Wallace, North Carolina. James, Ronald, and Dolores, Larry, and Rosalind. Those kids couldn't have been happier playing sports and games. But Michael, he just had a different kind of energy and curiosity too. Like the time his daddy told him, "Don't touch the axe." And Michael heard him say, as plain as day, "Don't touch the axe." But he took the axe anyway. And behind the house, he began to chop. Chop, chop, chop. It wasn't long before that axe came down on his 5-year-old toe. Whoa, that had to be painful and scary, especially since they told you not to touch it. The Jordans kept on trying. 5 kids aren't easy. Along with sports, they gave all the children rules and chores to keep them plenty busy. But there just weren't enough rules or chores to match the boundless bustle of those Jordan pigs. They bounced off the walls of their bungalow home, and young Michael was the bounciest. Maybe, the Jordans figured, if they moved to another house with more room and space. And that's what they did. When Michael was 7 years old, the Jordans moved to suburban Wilmington, North Carolina. Michael's mom and dad even let the kids help build the house so they could learn how working together as a team was the way to get things done. And so they could get rid of some of that energy. Oh, that's pretty cool. As a kid to help build the house you're going to live in. That's pretty cool. At the new house, Michael ran and played with his friends. Mostly, though, Michael tried to keep up with his older brother, Larry. Trouble was, no matter how Michael tried, it seemed as if Larry was bigger, quicker, and luckier. Michael did not give up. No. The more Michael lost, the harder he tried. But the truth is, Larry was always one jump sooner in checkers, one stroke faster in swimming, and one breath longer underwater. Larry dashed. Michael only ran. Larry sang. Michael croaked. Larry leaped. Michael only hopped. In fact, growing up, his family called Michael Rabbit. I guess that does speak about him being pretty bouncy. One of the first things that Michael's father had done at the new house was to put up a basketball hoop right in the backyard. Kids from all over would play on that hoop. But more and more, after the other kids had gone, the games ended up being a contest between Larry and Michael. They would play one-on-one so much that the grass underneath the hoop refused to grow from the pounding. Michael wasn't growing much either, so he started hanging with his arms from a swing set for hours each day, hoping to stretch himself taller. But it was no use. For all too many years, Michael was still only Rabbit. Oh man, that really spoke for you. Now Michael knew there was only one way for him to play basketball better than Larry, and that was to play more. He looked to pick up games on the blacktop at school or in the park. Or after he'd lose to Larry, he'd play alone, pounding and sweating and working that poor little backyard court like his sharecropper papa worked the soil from daybreak to day's end. And he wouldn't stop until he heard the screen door spring and his father's voice saying, "Come on in, son. It's time for bed." Wow, that is tenacity. Just when he discovered the game at Laney High School, it's hard to say. But the sun seemed hotter there. The moves seemed quicker on the full blacktop court there. The hoops seemed higher, and the game seemed better to 11-year-old Michael. The raw power of the springy older players as they shot the ball and talked trash in the hot, salty breeze, now that was something to see and hear. What did he want? Why, he wanted to be asked to play. But for what seemed like a long time, he did little more than wish. Time helps, and it helped Michael. By the time he was in junior high, he was turning out to be a fair baseball player. In fact, when he was 12, he led his baseball team to the state championship. He grew taller too, persuading his friends to do some of his dreaded chores, like mowing the lawn and leaving him to do only the ones he enjoyed, like ironing his own shirts. And he began to grow taller than anyone in his family. Hanging on the swing set must have helped. I don't know about that. One thing Michael always had time for was his friends, and he had friends of many different backgrounds and cultures. His best friend was a white boy named David, and he hadn't given much thought to color until one day when he and David went to a swimming pool party and were surprised when Michael turned out to be the only black kid there. Michael was even more surprised when he jumped into the pool and all the white kids got out. He decided he didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be where he wasn't welcome and left the party. Michael knew he had a true friend when David left with him. Now that's a good friend. Despite all the baseball that was going down, by the time he was in high school, Michael started to live and breathe basketball. He loved everything about it. The smell of the ball, the swoosh of the net. Soon it was all he wanted to play. He even gave up basketball. He saw less and less of Larry these days because Larry was becoming a true sports star. He was too busy to play with his little brother. More and more, Michael hung out at the blacktop by the high school. One day, the blacktop kids asked him to play. There was a crowd gathered by the fence, boys and girls, but this was Michael's chance. Oh man, he finally got asked to play. Let's see how he does. Suddenly, Michael had the ball. He dribbled it down the court, taking the ball hard to the hole. And just as he reached the rim, bam! A huge body slammed into Michael. From the hot tack tar, he looked up at the ball as it bounced off the rim. Michael had blown the layup. From the side, a voice broke the slow-mo silence in a teasing, mocking whine. Hey, ears, open your eyes. Michael gritted himself back into the game, but the taunts began to spread from the onlookers. With each dribble, he was scoffed at for his little boy haircut and the way his ears stuck out. With every layup, he was jeered about the way his tongue hung out of his mouth when he shot the ball, and right in front of the girls. Super embarrassing. None of it stopped Michael. He came back and played the next day, and the next, and the next. And the truth is, he got better and better. Finally, one day, he and his buddy Leroy decided to try out for the Laney High School varsity basketball team. Surely he would make it. Larry had. But at the end of the week, when the list of players was put up, there was no Michael Jordan on it. Even Leroy had made the team. Wow, that had to be disappointing. But Coach Herring had seen something he liked in the plucky kid. He put him on the junior varsity team. and offered to coach Michael one-on-one if Michael would meet him before school every morning at 6 a.m. Michael not only came, he worked hard, dribbling, passing, shooting, dribbling, passing, shooting. And Michael began to get not just okay, but good. He got so good, in fact, that the varsity players started coming to all the junior varsity games to watch Michael play. How about that? Wow. We don't know exactly when Michael turned the tables on Larry for the first time, but it may very well have happened the summer that Michael shot up 4 inches and went to basketball camp. One afternoon, the two started going at it again on the backyard hoop. At first, it seemed just like old times. Family and friends gathered around the hot, sticky court to watch the two brothers. But something was different. When Larry dashed across the court, Michael was there. Larry leaped for the hoop. Michael was there too. Soon, the brothers were in the thick of the game, a tangle of arms and legs flashing around the orange ball. Could Michael actually win? Larry wasn't worried. He was ahead of Michael by 1 point. Larry grinned. It was the usual end of the usual game. Then Michael had the ball. They both knew what usual meant. Michael would leap to dunk and Larry would jump higher, grab it, and dunk it for the win. Well, Michael leaped, just like always, and Larry leaped, just like always. But Michael kept going and going, past the wide span of Larry's arm. Oh boy, he could jump higher. Not so usual, huh? It seemed as if Michael just hung up there for a moment, as if waiting. Was it possible he had out-jumped the master? Surprised, aren't you? Oh, wait a minute. This book is cool. He had, and he dunked the ball in the hoop for the win. Michael smiled. He had beaten his brother the best at his own game. Look at that. That's cool. It folds out like that. Oh, wait a minute. Did I miss a page? Let me make sure I didn't miss a page. Make sure I didn't miss a page. All right. The laughing and hand slapping that followed that magical game followed Michael Jordan, Rabbit, through his entire career, from basketball camps to college teams, and finally into the professional world of basketball, the NBA. And Larry was there too, always an athlete in his own right, but rooting for his best competitor. Brothers, friends, whatever Michael Jordan became had started at their backyard hoop with Larry, with games that went on past dark, that pushed Michael Jordan to become more than he was, and more than any basketball player has ever been in all time. Wow. The end. Oh, what a great story. What a great retelling of Michael Jordan's life to get to basketball in the NBA. I really like this story because just like the story about the truck, even though the brother was always challenging him, the brother never made him feel bad about not jumping high enough. That was always a thing with Michael Jordan. Now, when finally he was able to jump higher than his brother could have been really mad and been like, whatever, I don't care, and been angry that he got bested by his younger brother. But no, he was supportive of him and rooting for his best competitor, his brother, and his best friend. Like this book. So, you have any basketball lovers in your family, boys or girls? Especially if they love basketball and they're trying to get good, but they feel like they're kind of small and they aren't getting it and getting to play and jumping high enough just yet. This story, Jump, is for them. Good summer read, and a good summer read about a great who was tenacious and determined to get better, even though at the time people were like, no, you can't do it. You're too small. You're too this. You're too that. But he didn't listen to any of that. Even though the taunts felt bad at the time, they still fueled him to go on and to get better and to show people, you know what? I might not be as good as you right now, but I will work probably harder than you to get to that place. Very good book, Jump, from the Life of Michael Jordan by Floyd Cooper. Very good book. So glad we got to read that today. All right. Now, we got to get back to these Unteachables. We got to get back to these Unteachables, y'all. So, in our book, I guess all of the chapters may possibly be named after people. So at first we started out with Kiana Rubini. Then we went on. We started with Kiana, who has moved in temporarily with her father and step monster, as she calls her. And she's not a bad lady. She's just not her mom. Okay. And then we went on to learn about Mr. Kermit and him just not being happy with being a teacher. Parker Elias, who is dealing with dyslexia and sees words and letters in different combinations. Then we learn about Aldo Braff, who has some anger issues, let's just say. Then we go back to Mr. Kermit, and we learned about how he knew Miss Fountain because Miss Fountain's mother, Fiona, they were engaged when they were younger. And then when the whole cheating scandal happened at the school, everything that went after that kind of caused them to break up. Now we are back to chapter 7, Mrs. Kiana Rubini. What are we going to learn about her? Now, you notice we're into the school year with these guys, and Kiana has not moved classes, even though she probably does not belong in SCS 8. She's still there and nobody notices. Let's find out what happens with her. All right, Kiana Rubini, chapter 7 of The Unteachables by Gordon Corman. I'm still in SCS 8. Well, technically, I'm in nothing since I never officially enrolled in school. Back on the first day, Chauncey turned out to have stomach flu. That's why he barked. Like there needs to be a reason for him to paint the town. So Step Monster never showed up to register me. That night, eating takeout pizza for dinner while feeding Chauncey medicine out of an eyedropper. She asked me, Kiana, did you get everything straightened out with the office? Jeez Louise, my father explained. You were supposed to take care of that. Chauncey, Chauncey got sick, she began defensively. It's okay, I interrupted. It's all taken care of. I'm still not sure why I said that. Nothing is taken care of. There's no such student as Kiana Robini at Greenwich Middle School. If I had any teacher besides Mr. Kermit, I would have been busted day one. What's more, I'm in the Unteachables. Oh, sure, they call it the self contained special, yada, yada, yada. But that's just code for burnouts, nitwits, rejects, and behavior problems. Plus one displaced Californian. It goes without saying that I don't belong. I've kind of boxed myself into a corner, though. It would be hard to switch out, since I was never really switched in. But then I'd need Stepmonster to register me for real. And I'd have to explain what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. It's not worth it. I'm a short timer anyway. I never changed my address from Los Angeles, so no one will ever find out there's a girl living here who isn't enrolled in school. And believe me, Mr. Kermit isn't going to notice he's got an extra kid in his class. Most of the time, he doesn't even notice he's got a class. I'm not learning anything. But even if I was in genius classes, I don't think there's much this one horse town can teach me in 2 months. Could be even less. Mom says her movie is going really well, which means I could be back in California even sooner than expected, fingers and toes crossed. In spite of all that, I have to admit I'm fascinated by SCS 8. It's not a good class, not even close. It's kind of an interesting one, though. I always assume that kids who end up in programs like that are just plain dumb. Not this bunch. They have quirks, sure, but unteachable? I don't see what's so terrible about them that they can't be with everyone else. Well, maybe Aldo. Anybody who can get that mad at a locker and all that, still. When I look into Aldo's eyes, which are green, by the way, I see a person who doesn't want to be so angry. Anyway, if the kids are a little strange, they're not half as strange as their teacher. I use the word teacher very loosely. That's another problem I have about calling them the unteachables. How can the school know they're unteachable if nobody ever tries to teach them? It's been 2 weeks and Mr. Kermit hasn't taught anything yet. He barely even speaks. He doesn't like kids. He doesn't seem too fond of other adults either. Yet there's something cool about him too. Nothing throws him, except maybe vuvuzelas. Anybody who could put out a trash can bonfire with a cup of coffee and never mention it must have ice water in his veins, even by LA standards. And just when you think you've got him figured out, something new about him comes out, like his secret past with Miss Fountain's mother, or when he fought like a tiger to get Barnstorm included in the pep rally. Now Barnstorm is fully reinstated to the Golden Eagles. He even stands on the sidelines at football games, leaning on his crutches and dispensing advice to the players. He has Mr. Kermit to thank for that. One day, Barnstorm is off at a team meeting when Miss Fountain pokes her head into the room. Mr. Kermit, she calls, my group is about to have circle time, and we were wondering if you and your students might like to join us. Circle time, he repeats, mystified. I stare at our teacher. How could anybody in the school business never have heard about circle time? You know, I explain, like the little kids do. It's not just for little kids, Miss Fountain corrects. It's for everybody. Positive reinforcement is something you never outgrow. Think of how much better our world would be if national leaders would only sit in a circle and be kind and civil to one another. So we all troop over to room 117, and let me tell you, that class doesn't look too thrilled to see us coming through the door. They're seventh graders, only a year younger than us, but it's a major year for growth spurts. So they seem a lot punier. Plus, we have a reputation that was obvious from the VIP seats they gave us at the pep rally and how quickly we got thrown out at the first sign of trouble. Miss Fountain's students are intimidated by all of us. So you can imagine how they feel about Elaine, the subject of school legends about force feeding people pages of their own textbooks and pounding them with uprooted ficus trees. Plus, she covers literally 30 degrees of the whole circle. There's really, there really is a circle marked off with yellow tape on the floor. In the middle is a smiley face, also in yellow tape. If my friends in LA could see me now, on second thought, God forbid, kid drivers, unteachables, and now this, Greenwich sure is some town. Mr. Kermit doesn't want to sit on the floor with the kids, but Miss Fountain does it, so he has to do it too. There's a lot of grunting as he lowers himself down and a crack that might be from a hip joint. He balances the bucket of coffee precariously on his lap. The room is like an overgrown kindergarten class. Bright colors blaze from every wall. There are class lists with multicolored stars awarded. Every single piece of information comes in a voice bubble emerging from the mouth of a happy cartoon animal. Susie the science snake and Harvey the hall pass hippo. I'd probably like it if I was about Chauncey's age. Mateo does like it. He lives his life through fictional characters anyway. He lingers in front of the big posters, drinking in the details of vibrant caricatures. Mr. Kermit has to order him to take a seat in the circle. Miss Fountain even has a real animal in a glass terrarium in the corner of the room under a sign proclaiming him to be Vladimir, is some kind of lizard of about 8 inches long. A mature Gorn, Mateo blurts. He's a gecko, a seventh grader corrects. Parker snaps his finger. Like that lizard from the TV commercials. He's a gold dust day gecko. He's a gold dust day gecko, Miss Fountain explains. You can tell by the flecks of yellow in his scales. Gorns are from Star Trek, Mateo supplies, although nobody asks for an explanation. They're a reptilian race from Tau Lacerte 9, advanced enough to have mastered space travel. A loud snicker comes from one of the seventh graders. Class, let's welcome our new friends to the circle, Miss Fountain announces. Who has a compliment to offer? Somebody's feet stink, Aldo explains. Mr. Kermit glares at him. That's not a compliment. Yeah, I know, Aldo concedes, but something smells pretty ripe around here. Maybe it's the Gorn cage, Mateo puts in. A compliment? Miss Fountain goes on as if no one else has spoken, is a positive comment, a well done, to make people feel good about themselves. Try again, Aldo. Aldo is thinking so hard that his face screws up, like Chauncey's when he's going to the bathroom in his diaper. He looks all around the circle and comes up empty. I know, I'm just a short timer, And it's pointless to care about people I'll never have to see again once mom finishes shooting her movie. But my heart goes out to Aldo, who has this red hair that just won't stay combed. How must it feel inside when the closest you can get to saying something nice involves foot odor? From the opposite side of the room, a low voice announces, "That's a nice color." We all crane our necks to see who's speaking. To my amazement, it's Elaine. "I beg your pardon," says the young teacher, distracted. "Your shirt," she tells Miss Fountain. "It's a nice look on you." "What a lovely thing to say. Thank you." Miss Fountain frowns at Elaine. "I don't think I know your name." "I don't think so either," Elaine mumbles back. Miss Fountain turns questioningly to Mr. Kermit, who gives her a blank stare. "That's Elaine," I explain. "We've been in class with him for 2 weeks. He doesn't he know any of us?" A few whispered murmurs of rhymes with pain come from our class and the seventh graders. A voice sounds in the hall. "Where'd everybody go?" A moment later, Barnstorm swings into the doorway on his crutches, fresh from his meeting with the football team. "I was wondering where you guys... Hey, check it out, circle time." "Join our circle," Miss Fountain invites. "Why don't you share how you hurt your leg? I'm guessing it was a football injury." "No way," Barnstorm scoffs. "The tackler isn't born who can't catch me. I'm sorry. The tackler isn't born who can catch me. I was changing a light bulb in the bathroom and I slipped off the toilet seat. I can see it coming, but I'm powerless to stop it." As Barnstorm plops himself down on the floor next to Aldo, one of his crutches whacks the red-haired boy in the side of his head. "Ow!" Enraged, Aldo sweeps the offending crutch aside, knocking it to the corner. The rubber tip clips the cover on the lizard terrarium, sending it skittering across the floor. "The Gorn!" Mateo exclaims. "Vladimir!" cry several of the seventh graders. The gecko is out of his home like a shot. He does a quick loop of the room and finds the door post haste. Mateo frowns. "Gorns are slow and plodding in Star Trek." "I guess Star Trek isn't that much like real life," Parker observes. "You can say that again." There's nothing slow or lazy about Vladimir. By the time the first seventh graders reach the hall, their class pet is long gone. I'm kind of impressed by how calm Miss Fountain stays. She's all business on the intercom with the office describing the escaped lizard. "Thank you for a very enjoyable circle time," Mr. Kermit says formally. "We should probably say our goodbyes, though." I doubt she even hears him. Back in room 117, I'm thinking now we're really gonna get it. But our teacher silently returns to his crossword puzzle, leaving us to the worksheets on our desk. Well, that was a nice time visiting another class. So we will stop there on this fabulous FRI-YAY. Well, Miss Fountain tries to invite them in. Let them have a nice time being kind and considerate, complimenting one another. But the Unteachables have not necessarily been the type that people welcome in anytime. So they have to kind of get into the practice of being nice to each other and especially nice to other people. Okay. Well, my friends, it is your first weekend, at least for the children from Philadelphia, of being on summer break. So please do enjoy your summer break. Have a good time. Be safe. I look forward to seeing my kids in September. And congratulations to all the graduates and all of you who have moved up. And congratulations on making it through one of the most challenging school years in history, in recent history, anyway. I give you all a pat on the back, a round of applause, and much congratulations for sticking with it, staying determined, and persevering even through this crazy school year. Have a wonderful summer, and I will see you back here on Marvelous Monday. Just because it's summer break, don't think we're not doing this. Now, the time might change, but if it does, I will let you know. Okay? Until Marvelous Monday, my friends, have a wonderful, safe weekend, and I will see you next time right here on Miss Hope's Reading Hour. Bye for now. See you later.